Um, Good evening. In fact, today I thought some more candidates from Federal Bank will come. Nobody has come. So you have come on behalf of LICAO. So we will do something which is common for both LICAO and banking. Please go through these pages. Please read Banking Ombudsman.
Yeah, banking ombudsman is a quasi-judicial authority which functions under India's Banking Ombudsman Scheme 2006. It was created by Government of India with the purpose of deal with the companies of customers of the banks related to various services rendered by the banks.
See, actually, there is a banking ombudsman. There is an ombudsman, not banking. There is an ombudsman for insurance also.
Okay.
That is separate. But this is about banking ombudsman. Now go through the next one.
Deflation. It is a decreased in the general price level of goods and services. Then inflation. It can be defined as a sustained increase in the general level of prices for goods and services. Then liquidity. Liquidity describes the degree to which an asset or security can be quickly bought or sold in the market without affecting the asset's price. Then merchant banking. It is a combination of banking and consultancy services. Right? Then monetary policies. It refers to the use of instrument by Reserve Bank of India. Then monetary, what is that? Monetary policies. It refers to the use of instruments by Reserve Bank of India. Then RBI, that is RBI, okay, to regulate the availability, cost, and use of money and credits. Then plastic money, okay, it is the term used in reference to the what is it, hard plastic cards we can use every day in place of actual banknotes.
Acha, you have some visual problem in reading. I will read out. Just listen. I will read out. Just listen. Cash reserve ratio. This material is there in the link. This is available in the folder given to you, and this tells about insurance basics.
Okay, so these are all common for both
banking and insurance. This is I am reading only from insurance material. Insurance basics. There is a material given by me, prepared by Ambitious Baba Institute. That is where all these things are there. You read about monetary policies. I will continue with the balance. Plastic money. It is a term used in reference to the hard plastic cards we use every day in place of actual bank notes. That is debit card, credit card, and all that. Then cash reserve ratio is the amount of funds that the banks have to keep with the RBI in their current account. Cash reserve ratio is the amount of funds that the banks have to keep with the RBI. Right now, it is 4.5% of total demand and time liabilities. Refinance facilities. RBI offers a refinance facility to help out the exporters by replacing an existing debt obligation of another. Refinance is also done by National Housing Bank to housing finance companies. Refinance is also done by NABARD, NABARD, to RRBs and other banks. Refinance means some finance being done by a financial institution to that the main institution will be giving funds. They will refinance that facility. Statutory liquidity ratio. And incidentally, at present CRR is 4.5%. SLR is the minimum proportion on their net demand and time liabilities, which every bank maintains in the form of cash, gold, and securities at the close of business every day. Here it is 18%. Statutory liquidity ratio. 18% of the net demand and time liabilities. Demand liability means savings bank and current account, which is repayable on demand. Time liability means fixed deposit and recurring deposit. Then bank rate, the rate of interest which the RBI charges on loans and advances to commercial bank. Liquidity adjustment facility. It is a monetary policy tool which allows banks to borrow money through repurchase agreements and adjusting the day-to-day mismatches in liquidity. Marginal standing facility. It is a window for banks to borrow from the RBI in an emergency situation when interbank liquidity finishes completely. Marginal standing, now it is 6.75%. Bank rate is also 6.75%. Marginal standing facility, it is a window for banks to borrow from RBI in an emergency situation when interbank liquidity finishes completely. Next question, market stabilization scheme. Securities that are issued with the objective of providing a stock of securities to the RBI to intervene in the market for managing liquidity. Open market operations, it is an activity by RBI to give or take liquidity in its currency to or from a bank or a group of banks. Repo rate, the rate at which RBI lends money to the commercial bank in the event of any shortfall of funds for short period, 14 days to 90 days. This is a repo rate. At present, repo rate is 6.50. A reverse repo rate, the rate at which RBI borrows money from commercial banks within the country. At present, it is 3.35%. Term repo, a repurchase agreement with a term of more than 1 day. Then authorized capital. Authorized capital, registered capital, nominal capital of a company is the maximum amount of share capital that the company is authorized by its constitutional documents to issue to shareholders. Authorized capital is the maximum capital a company can raise from the public, that is notified to registrar of joint stock companies. Bonds, it is an instrument of indebtedness of the bond issuer to the holders. Bonds are issued by the government. Bonds are issued by the companies to their customers or to their lenders also. Call money, money loaned by a bank or other institution which is repayable on demand. Commercial bills, a bill of exchange issued by commercial organization to raise money for short-term needs. Commercial papers, an unsecured short-term debt instrument issued by a corporation for the financing of accounts receivable, inventories, and meeting short-term liabilities. Commercial paper. Certificate of deposits, a certificate entitling the bearer to receive the interest. It is issued by normally by banks to big depositors. Dated government securities, these are long-term securities and a fixed or floating coupon interest rate which is paid on the face value payable at fixed time periods. Dated government securities. Debentures, a long-term security bearing a fixed rate of interest issued by a company and secured against asset, that is known as secured debenture. If there is no security, it is a debenture not covered by any security. Issued capital, the share capital that has been issued to the shareholders. Mutual funds is a professionally managed investment fund that pools money from many investors to purchase securities. Net asset value, a mutual funds unit price per share or exchange traded funds per share value. Paid up capital, the amount of company's capital that has been funded by shareholders. Treasury bills. Treasury bills, a short-dated UK or US government security bearing no interest but issued at a discount on its redemption price. In India also treasury bills are there for 91 days, 181 days, 364 days and all that. Bill of exchange is a binding agreement by one party to pay a fixed amount of cash to another party as of a predetermined date or on demand. Checks, an order to a bank to pay a stated sum from the drawer's account written on a specially printed form, check. Then antedated check, which have been written by the maker and dated at some point in the past. For example, if a check is being written today, 10th May, but you are putting the check date as 9th May, 4th May, 1st May and all that, then it is known as antedated check. Bounced check. check that cannot be processed because the writer has insufficient funds. A check presented for payment is returned unpaid is known as bounced check. Crossed check, these checks can only be deposited directly into a bank account and cannot be immediately cashed by a bank or any other credit institution. Post-dated check, check that is written by the drawer for a date in the future. Today it is 10th May. If a check is dated 11th May 2023 or 12th May, any date after that, it is known as post-dated check. Stale check, a check which a bank will not accept and exchange for money or payment because it was written more than 3 months. That is today, if you go and present a check dated 9th February 2023, bank will not make payment of the check. Up to 10th May, they will give. 9th May, they will not give. Check truncation, it is the conversion of a physical check into a substitute electronic form for transmission to the paying bank. See, earlier, checks were directly presented to the paying bank. Nowadays, checks are not going, their image only is going. This process is known as check truncation. Could you follow?
Yeah, I got it, sir.
So very good. So thank you so much for today's class. This much is sufficient, but I suggest you go through the other things later on. 60,
Right,
page number 61 to 68 in that insurance basics. You just go through that. That will help you for further discussions. We will meet tomorrow at same time, 8 o'clock. Thank you. Do you have any questions or doubts in your mind?
Yes, sir. Actually, not regarding this. Regarding interview process, I have some questions.
Please ask.
Actually, in banking, I hear that there is a minimum marks they will put out of 20, some 8 or 10 marks.
Yeah.
Like that, is there any minimum mark in the AAO interview?
Yeah. LIC also normally has minimum percentage of marks, like say 40 or 35, depending on scheduled caste means less, forward category means higher. If you're a disabled person, then lesser percentage. Anything, but your attempt should be to score as much high as possible.
Right.
Could you follow? புரிஞ்சுதா?
புரிஞ்சுது சார். இது அந்த மாதிரி ஏதாவது ஒரு பெர்சன்டேஜ் இப்ப மினிமம் நான் எல்லாத்துக்குமே நான் கேட்டிருக்கேன் பேங்கிங்ல யூசுவலா 8 to 40, அதாவது டோட்டல் மார்க்ஸ் வந்து 60 இல்லைங்களா நமக்கு ஏஓல?
இல்ல அப்படி இல்ல அதாவது என்ன மார்க்கா இருந்தாலும் அதுல 40%.
அதுல 40%. ஓகே.
அவங்க 60-40 வச்சாலும் சரி, 40-60 வச்சாலும் சரி, இன்டர்வியூக்கு எவ்வளவு மார்க் இருக்கோ அதுல நார்மலா 40% எதிர்பார்ப்பாங்க.
40% நம்ம நல்லா பண்ணணும்னு எதிர்பார்ப்பாங்க.
40% மார்க் வாங்கணும், அப்பதான்
வாங்கணும் கண்டிப்பா. ஓகே.
அதாவது இது சிச்சுவேஷன் எப்படின்னா, நீங்க ரிட்டன் டெஸ்ட்ல ரொம்ப நல்ல மார்க் வாங்கிட்டீங்க, ஆனா கூட இன்டர்வியூல 30 வாங்கிட்டீங்கன்னா உங்களை செலக்ட் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க.
ஓகே.
ஆனா ஒருத்த வந்து ரிட்டன் டெஸ்ட்ல ஆவரேஜா வாங்கியிருக்காரு, பட் இங்க வந்து 40க்கு மேல வாங்கியிருக்காரு, 2 மார்க்கையும் கூட்டினாக்க அந்த கட் ஆஃப்க்கு மேல வந்துச்சுன்னா அவங்களை எடுத்துடுவாங்க.
ஓகே. சோ அப்ப இன்டர்வியூலயும் ஃபெயில் பண்ண சான்சஸ் இருக்கு கண்டிப்பா.
இருக்கு. ஏன்னா இப்ப நிறைய பிள்ளைங்க சரியா பேச முடியாம இருக்குது, சொல்ல முடியாம இருக்குது, ஆன்சர்
ஆமாம் சார்.
தெரிஞ்சாலும் சொல்ல தெரியல. அப்படி இருக்கிற
ம்.
பிள்ளைங்களுக்கு உங்களுக்கு நிறைய மார்க் கொடுக்க முடியாது. ஃபெயில்
ஆமா
மார்க் தான் வரும்.
கண்டிப்பா.
வெரி குட். நீங்க என்ன
ஓகே
படிச்சீங்க?
சார்.
நீங்க என்ன படிச்சீங்க?
சார் நான் நான் எம்எஸ்சி சாஃப்ட்வேர் இன்ஜினியரிங் 5 இயர்ஸ் இன்டெகிரேட்டட் ஆஃப்டர் 12th முடிச்சுட்டு டேரக்டா 5 இயர்ஸ்.
ஓ வெரி குட். எந்த காலேஜ்ல?
கேஎஸ்ஆர் இன்ஸ்டியூட், இது ஈரோடுல இருக்கு சார். கேஎஸ் இன்ஜினியரிங்.
நீங்க சிம்பிள் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் வந்து, அதாவது சாஃப்ட்வேர் இன்ஜினியரிங்னா என்ன, சாஃப்ட்வேர்னா என்ன, எவ்வளவு
ஓகே சார்.
விதமான சாஃப்ட்வேர் இருக்குது, ரீசெண்டா வந்த சாஃப்ட்வேர் என்ன, கம்ப்யூட்டர்ல என்ன மாதிரி சாஃப்ட்வேர் யூஸ் பண்றோம், அப்புறம் மொபைல்ல என்ன மாதிரி சாஃப்ட்வேர் யூஸ் பண்றோம், ஹவு டு ரைட் அ சாஃப்ட்வேர், இந்த மாதிரி கொஸ்டின்லாம் நீங்க ரெடி பண்ணிக்கோங்க.
ஓகே சார்.
தேங்க்யூ.
நான் ஓகே சார். தேங்க்யூ.
அதுவும் கேட்கலாம். அதை தவிர எல்ஐசியை பத்தியும் கேட்கலாம். நீங்க எல்ஐசி வெப்சைட்ல போயிட்டு நல்லா படிச்சுக்கிடுங்க.
ஓகே.
நாளைக்கு வாங்க. நீங்க மட்டும்தான் வந்தீங்கன்னா நம்ம எல்ஐசி உள்ள போயிடுவோம்.
ஓகே சார்.
எல்ஐசி வெப்சைட் உள்ள போய் என்னெல்லாம் படிக்க முடியுது தெரியுதுங்கிறது பார்த்துக்கலாம்.
கண்டிப்பா சார்.
தேங்க்யூ.
தேங்க்யூ சார். தேங்க்யூ.